What is up, YouTube? What is up to Horned Frog Nation everywhere? It's your boy Michael back with another video. In this video, we're going to be discussing the Ohio State Buckeyes taking on the TCU Horned Frogs. Happening in Jerry World. Ohio State comes in as the number 4 ranked team in the AP poll. TCU comes in as the 15th ranked team. Top 15 matchup. Something that, I'm not going to lie, all of us Frog fans have been looking forward to. Pretty sure all Buckeye fans have been looking forward to. It's something that you don't want to look past Southern. You don't want to look past SMU. But anytime you got a program like Ohio State on the schedule, every time you look at the schedule, you always look at that game. And that's a credit to Ohio State. They have built a program. They have built a juggernaut. They have built something with glamour, with tradition, with high expectations year in and year out. That's a testament to what coaches there have done, past players have done. We already know who they are. We know players like Dwayne Haskins. We know J.K. Dobbins. We know Mike Weber. We know K.J. Hill, Paris Campbell. We know these guys, all right? We know what they got. I believe DeMontre Jones on the defensive line. Nick Bosa, we already know him. Baron Browning, Jeffrey Okudah, Fuller in the secondary. We know these guys. We know that they're studs. We know that they got a lot going on. Before getting into it, guys, I guess you can't really talk about Ohio State without discussing Urban Meyer. I'm only going to get into this very briefly. I lost a lot of respect for Ohio State this past summer. Lost a lot of respect for Urban Meyer. Just the way, I already knew, we already know the kind of coach he is. We know he's a top 2 coach in college football. We already know that. But as a man, as a leader, it kind of makes me laugh when I hear on TV that Ohio State is without its leader, and I suddenly think, what, is Dwayne Haskins hurt? Because I know they can't be talking about Urban Meyer. I just don't see him as a leader. I just can't. I just can't look at him like that. How arrogantly he's come off, how he's been about this, how he has nothing to say when the cameras are rolling, but he has a lot to say behind his little phone. It's Bush League, it's arrogant, it's childish, it has no place in college football. I think a very weak 3-game suspension, it was very weak. They showed that they were a coward. They showed that they had no guts. They show that they don't care about the university's morals, the principles, what they're trying to teach students and their student athletes. It just baffles me. I think the board of trustees who stepped down, I believe he did the right thing, because, I wouldn't want to work for an institution that preaches this but allows this. Practice what you teach. Come on now. What is the lesson that you're trying to send to your future student athletes? I know it's going to affect recruiting. I know it's going to, because Urban Meyer is going to have to walk into that house and sit down, not just with that player, but the parent also wants to know what the hell happened. Why are you still employed? What are you going to do differently? Why should I allow my son to go here? It's as simple as that. I have no doubt that Ohio State is a top 4 team in the country. But, this notion that the team has, this notion that the fan base has, that, it's us against the world, no one's against y'all. It's not y'all against the world. When I say I lost respect for Ohio State, I also lost respect for their fan base, because when I looked at the comments, when I looked at over everything Ohio State, period, they all had Urban Meyer's back. They all supported this. They all said, 3-game suspension, that's bullcrap. Really? I guess y'all voted for Trump, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes winning matters. If Urban Meyer was a barely 500 coach, I have no doubt that he would have been fired on the first day that this came out. I mean, a paid administrative paid leave, you basically gave him a paid vacation. Like, that's all I'm gonna say about it, guys. That's all I'm gonna say about it. Again, I lost a lot of respect for Ohio State, period, all around. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I guess y'all that have anything to say, go in the comments as you will. I'll leave it at that. So getting into the game, College Game Day is going to be on TCU campus. Reese Davis, Kirk Herbstreit, Lee Corso, they're all going to come to TCU campus, which, I mean, it was probably a given. You know, I knew that they were going to be in College Station because that was the big-time matchup, the Aggies and the Bulldogs. And then week 3, where were you going to go? USC and Texas? Nah, I don't really think so. No, they were going to come to TCU. When it comes to uniforms, I'm pretty sure games like these, you know, neutral sites, showdowns, teams usually bust out, you know, specialty uniforms. Not sure what TCU is going to bust out, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be something. TCU comes in as a 13-point underdog, and it's quite funny because Gary Patterson was asked this, what's your reaction to being nearly a 15-point underdog to Ohio State and then given a 27% chance to beat Texas the following week? And he just laughed at it. He laughed at it. He said, you know, no one thinks I can win anyway, but yet I've been here for 20 years and I've sustained 10-plus winning seasons in 6 different conferences over 20 years. So no one thinks I can win anyway for whatever reason that is, and we're going to get ready to play. Talking about Ohio State, they do many things right. You know, we all know about that crucial defensive line. They can attack the passer. They can also be effective in stopping the run. You know, I watched the games against Rutgers. I watched the game against Oregon State, and this was all last night. I stayed up till like 4:30 watching all this stuff. And they did things very well. I will be it. Oregon State and Rutgers are not TCU, but just the way their technique was, you know, getting their hands on them, fully extending. That's why you bench press, fully extending, getting those guys out the way, just getting a good swim move in, and then going and getting the runner, going and getting the quarterback, attacking them. That's what I saw, and that's just like, oh man, I hope Cardell Igwagwu, he's gonna be lined up against Demontre Jones. I see Austin Myers and or Anthony McKinnon going to be matched up with Nick Bosa. You know, I have no idea. I have no doubt that Austin Myers and Anthony McKinnon can take care of Nick Bosa. I have no doubt about that. Our best offensive lineman, New Lucas Niang, on the right side, he's going to have that right side locked down. He just hasn't allowed anything in 8 starts last year, in 2 starts so far this year. I just haven't seen anything that tells me he's going to allow Sean Robinson to get pressured. We all know their secondary is pretty questionable to me. I see that they struggle with speed, especially Jeffrey Okudah, who I remember graduated from South Grand Prairie. He was a teammate of TCU safety Atanza Vongor from South Grand Prairie. I remember watching those two play in the Texas high school playoffs when they came to my alma mater and played my Belton Tigers and lost. Didn't see a whole lot from Jeffrey Okudah. He got beat so many times downfield. He was a returner and didn't really get much in that game. So I see what's different at Ohio State. I don't really see much different. He's a talented young man, no doubt about it, but he struggles with speed. I get it, he's a sophomore, but he struggles with speed. He just gets beat all the time. A little side note about that linebacker, Baron Browning. TCU was this close from getting Baron Browning. His relationship with Zarnell Finch, the TCU defensive line coach, his relationship with Zarnell Finch was just top-notch. His relationship with Gary Patterson was just top-notch. But he wanted to leave the state. He wanted to leave home. And unfortunately, TCU was in Texas. They were literally an hour away from his home. And it's just one of those things where an 18-year-old just wants to leave home. And he ended up deciding on Ohio State. TCU would have been his choice if he did not want to leave home. So That's just it. But he is still a big guy. He is still a great athlete, an elite linebacker. But I see many ways that TCU can attack this team. They struggle against screens. I don't know why that is, but they struggle with screens and speed. That's one thing this TCU offense has. And one thing that Ohio State has not faced is a dual threat quarterback. That's what Sean Robinson is going to have to be when it comes to winning this football game. Jalen Reagor is going to beat Jeffrey Okudah. I have no doubt about that. Jalen Austin, his strength is going to allow him to get these safeties off of him. We already know about KaVontae Turpin. If Ohio State fans don't know about KaVontae Turpin, this guy will beat you anyway, anyhow. If he played on defense, he'll beat you anyway, anyhow. He just finds a way. He just does. Offensively, special teams, running the football, whatever the case may be. We got so many guys to pass the ball to. Tight ends who are underrated, but that can catch the ball. We go 3 deep at running back. Just Darius Anderson, Shewa Olanalua, and Demarcado. Justin Demarcado, I believe that's his first name. These guys, my goodness, these guys are going to attack it. Shewa Olanalua, 6'3", 340 pounds. He is going to attack it. He wants this game. I know he does. This is the kind of game that TCU needs and the game that TCU wants and the game that I can see TCU winning. Going to the defensive side of the ball, guys, this is the guy. This is what's going to be strength on strength. This is the thing that's going to be what's TCU going to do, what's Ohio State going to do. Dwayne Haskins is very accurate. He is a great quarterback. I still expect to see both quarterbacks, Dwayne Haskins and Tate Martell, but only in dual threat situations, because Tate Martell is the better runner of the two, but Dwayne Haskins is far better, the better thrower than the two. I expect to see both packages. You know, we got to watch out for guys like Paris Campbell. We got to watch out for guys like KJ Hill. We got to watch out for their running backs, guys, because, I mean, I have no doubt that our secondary has the speed to stay locked down on these receivers. But one thing that I concern, because the loss to Ross Blacklock was so big, how is our front 7, front 6 going to handle the run game? How are they? Because that Ohio State offensive line, although they do have some questions, they are big. How are they going to favor against this running game? LJ Collier is going to be back. So Ty Summers is going to be at linebacker and at defensive end, which I expect him and Garrett Wallow to be our starting linebackers. Terrell Cooper, Corey Bethley. Corey Bethley went into the 3 technique that Ross Blacklock usually plays, and he had a huge game. So maybe that's something we stick with. Of course, our star pass rusher, Ben Banigou, coming off the right side. Who's going to stop him? Is he going to get effective pressure on the quarterback? That's something that's going to remain to be seen. Garrett Wallow, he is a strong safety, but he turned into linebacker. I have no doubt that he has the speed to follow the Paris Campbells, the J.K. Dobbins, the Mike Webbers. I have no doubt about that. Ty Summers, he's going to be there to stop the run. I just have no doubt about that. He is one of the best, the most underrated linebacker in the country in my mind. He just does so many things so well. The only thing I struggle to really hype him up in is in the pass game. It's just one thing that I really want to double down on, which is I can also see him playing the majority of the game at defensive end. Rico Evans going to be that Mike backer, bringing Juwan Johnson back in at Mike backer. That's just things I see. In his gains, I see him coming up in the box. Our potential breakout safety, who was big time last year, who's our starter this year. I expect him playing up in the box and playing the run. Julius Lewis, Jeff Gladney, they're going to be our outside corners. We also know about Ridwan Isahaku, Nico Small. Maybe we get Markel Simmons back in this game. We do not know yet. That's just stuff Gary Patterson will not say in the pregame, leading up to the game. That's just something he will not say. We will find out when Ohio State finds out. That's just how he's always been. As of right now, no injuries to report. None that I know about Ohio State so far. Guys, this game is huge for both teams, because whoever comes out on this game, They're going to be looked at legitimately. Ohio State is already looked at legitimately. TCU will be looked at legitimately. When it comes to college football playoff implications, we know that's not till down the road, but this game is going to help. You know, as much as Ohio State may think so little of TCU, if they beat us, they're still going to root for us to win. So, I mean, it's also laughable how I've started to follow a couple of Ohio State accounts, and they think so little of TCU. They think they only play in the Big 12. They're nothing. They do not know yet, guys. They do not know yet. I'm just going to go ahead and say I see TCU winning this game. I'm not being biased, guys. I watched the film. I saw the weaknesses. I saw the strengths. I looked at TCU, how their weaknesses on defense are, their strengths on defense, and how they get going. I looked at our speed on offense. I looked at the dual threat capability of Sean Robinson. I looked at how maybe Michael Collins is going to get a drive or two in the game. Guys, I see TCU winning this game. It's going to be a battle of who's going to make the most mistakes, who's going to have the most drops, who's going to tackle better, who is going to commit fewer penalties. That's the biggest thing to this game. Now, my keys to the game for TCU: establish the run game early. Establish the run game, because as soon as we get that first down, we're going to go up tempo. Ohio State cannot handle up tempo. That is one thing I have noticed. They cannot handle it, especially with the speed that we have, with the depth that we have at receiver. They won't be able to handle it. They will get tired very quickly. They will. So getting the screen game going, getting the quick passes going, maybe design quarterback options, maybe designed quarterback runs. Get it going early. These early struggles in the game that I've talked about cannot happen. It just can't. I can't have it happen. We can't. We got to start out strong. We got to start out fast. I have no doubt that our receivers are going to get behind the secondary. We're going to be throwing some big-time passes. That's basically it. No turnovers. Secure the football. No turnovers. Now, going to the defensive side of the ball, get off the field on third down. Force third and longs. Get to the quarterback and tackle. If they do those things, guys, TCU will come out on top. They will come out on top, because Ryan Day, Gary Patterson, yeah, I'm going to take Gary Patterson. Now, Ryan Day is not no-name coach. He's been offered head coaching gigs many times, and he just might get offered a big-time coaching gig after this season. He's not a no-name coach. He's been everywhere. He is a very well-respected offensive coordinator. He's a big-time coach. But Ryan Day against Gary Patterson is a top 5 coach in this country. They just don't compare. He's not better than Gary Patterson. Gary Patterson, I know, has broken down film from this game, even before the SMU game, even before the Southern game. He's done it with them. He's done it with Texas. He's done it with Oklahoma. That's why he is a wizard. That's why he's one of the best in the country. That's my score. TCU wins. TCU wins 45-34. Because I do know Ohio State is going to get some points. But I just see TCU winning 45-34 because of their speed, because of their talent. Ohio State struggles to effectively stop the run, because if we get these our offensive line versus the defensive line is definitely going to be something to see. But guys, I don't know what y'all have read. I don't know what y'all have seen, but questions on our offensive line, I don't know where they're at. But the only thing that I will say about our offensive line is that when it comes to the running game, they need to get better. That's one thing I will say. It's the only thing I'll say. Other than that, what else is there, guys? 45-34. That's my final score. TCU will come out on top. It is going to be a dogfight. It is going to be a big-time showdown. It's going to be in Jerry World. Most likely, Ohio State will outnumber TCU fans because, I mean, when you look at Ohio State's alumni, TCU's alumni, they're just bigger. A bigger university, bigger alumni. That's just the way it is. But as long as TCU still comes out on top, still comes out and roots for our Frogs, we're going to come out on top, guys. I have no doubt about it. No doubt about it. All right. So, other than that, guys, subscribe to my channel if you're new. Follow me on Twitter if y'all want play-by-play, my reaction to it. Follow me on Twitter if you're new, guys. Also, I do know you Ohio State fans, y'all are going to want to get on me. Y'all are going to want to put in y'all's insight. So put it in the comments. At me on Twitter, whatever the case may be. I can't wait. I just can't wait, guys. It's Monday right now, but whoo, I can't wait for this game. I cannot wait for this game. This is such a huge game. TCU, I have no doubt TCU is going to win it. Early on, I had Ohio State winning, but breaking this stuff down, I just see us winning, guys. I just see us winning. This is a game that I say if we lose, it's going to be because we turned the ball over and we committed mistakes. So other than that, TCU wins 45-34. Book it. I mean, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying that this is going to happen. This is my heart, my prediction. So that's it. Well, it's going to remain to be seen, but I got faith in my Frogs. If you're Ohio State fans traveling to the game, travel safe, be safe. It's been raining a lot down here in Texas, so not sure if it's going to rain, but be safe. Horned Frog fans, travel safe, be safe. Good luck to you Buckeyes. Good luck to the TCU Horned Frogs. Let's have a great game, guys. Go Frogs.